Right, so for those of you who shop through Amazon, which of course is millions, I'm sure you've seen renewed iPhones on their site for very low prices, and some of you might be wondering how the quality's like with those iPhones, and well, I've had one for a year, so let's delve into my thoughts. Now, I did make an unboxing video on this a year ago that you can check out in the icon above, and this has been my brother's daily device ever since then, so I've asked for his experience, and also the limited time I've had this device to give you guys my thoughts. And I'll be honest guys, on the whole, this has not been great. Now, I do want to mention the massive positive, which of course is the low price compared to other retailers, and of course Apple refurbished, this is a lot cheaper, but of course that does come with a catch, and that is the quality of the device. So I've had two big issues with this device, the first one being battery life. This to begin with had 87% battery health, and that of course has got worse, and yeah, battery life has just not been great. Now the 10R with a fresh battery inside should be pretty solid, but unfortunately that's not been the case in my use. This gets me around 3 or 4 hours of screen on time, and it's usually supposed to get 6 with a fresh battery inside. So yeah, that's not great, and based on the experience I've seen from other users, it seems iPhones in general from Amazon Renewed do have pretty low battery health, and so you should remember that. However, the second issue I did notice was actually regarding the display, because in the initial unboxing I did mention that of course I saw residue on the device, and so clearly the panel was a replacement, but after a year of use, it seems the panel might have been a third-party cheaper LCD panel that of course does not match Apple standards. And well, because of this, if I don't use dark mode on this, there is pretty visible discoloration with the display on this, and it's really quite awful. Now yes, as I said, dark mode does fix this, but I should not be forced to use dark modes and put up with a third-party panel on this. It's really a shame this is the case. And I believe the 10R does not give you a pop-up saying you have a third-party display on the front, and so yeah, these resellers can get away with it, and that's not great. And the final minor thing I do want to mention is actually the cosmetics, because there were dents and scratches on the device, though that did not bother me as the other two issues because this was pretty cheap, so of course I'm not expecting the condition to be perfect, and ultimately it does not hinder the experience. But the first two things I did mention are major issues, and yes, I'm aware that I can replace this. In fact, all the renewed devices do come with a 1-year warranty, which is great, but it is a bit of a finicky process, and of course living without your phone for a few days or even weeks is not ideal, to be honest. Also, I have noticed the replacements really aren't that much better, so yes, when you're paying a low price for these devices, expect a pretty low quality experience. Also, do remember that all of this depends on the seller, and this is by far the biggest issue with the Renew program, because your experience is going to massively vary depending on the seller that's available when you buy your device. And of course, when the seller does have pretty good reviews, like mine did, the experience might not actually be that great. So yes, ultimately if I were to do this again, I would avoid Renewed and pay the extra towards a properly refurbished device that actually has a fresh battery inside and of course the original display. These phones in my opinion are equivalent to used, and of course with the used market you can bargain with the sellers and get good prices. And so ultimately this is not a great deal. Anyways, I thought I'd answer your questions regarding the Apple Renewed iPhone. So Chocolate Mango says, can you suggest to me which one to buy, iPhone XR Amazon Renewed or the premium version? Now personally, I do not have much experience with the Amazon Renewed premium program, but based on the videos and information I've read online, this seems to fix most of the issues I've had with the basic program, because number one, the batteries in these are brand new, so of course that means 100% battery health, but also the cosmetic condition of the device seems to be good as new, so of course there is a much higher chance the displays on these premium models are legit. So yeah, personally I think it's worth getting the premium iPhone instead. So Tech says, Amazon refurbished will never match the Apple refurbished experience. And yes, I completely agree with that. I have tried Apple refurbished before and I can confirm the products are basically good as new. Really the only change is the box, but the contents and the actual product is basically brand new. Now yes, I know there's a massive price difference, but personally I do think it's justified because you are getting original parts, excellent quality, and of course, a fresh battery inside. In fact, with Apple's refurbished products, they replace the casing, the battery, the display, so yeah, this is basically brand new, so the higher price is justified. So Suleiman says, if I buy the 10R and I have no issues with it, could I still return it within a year and get my money back? And yes, you actually can. That is the greatness of this program because you do get 1 year to return it or exchange it, and so that peace of mind, to be honest, is pretty great. So TY Zayar McDonald 2.2 says, hi, which seller did you purchase from? And this is from the iOutlet. They had pretty good ratings, as I said, but the quality of the product, in my opinion, wasn't that great. So yeah, the average rating really is not a good representation of the seller. Instead, look through the recent reviews and see if anyone's been facing issues, because it's very possible that iOutlet had very good refurbished products to begin with, and then the quality got worse. But of course, those initial reviews helps the average rating be good. So Chanel says, did you get an OEM screen? And no, that was not the case. This does seem to be a third-party screen, like I said, and I have had issues with it. So yeah, do remember that some sellers may use third-party parts. But yeah, that's basically my thoughts regarding this. But of course, if you have any more questions, let me know in the comments. Anyways, thank you for watching, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumours. Check out the link above on details regarding the iPhone 14 series. And on that note, see ya peeps.